What is going on, everybody? It's your host, Matt DiTullio. We're here with episode 3 of Collector's Cash, and I am so excited for this episode, guys. Today's episode title is What Do Artists Collect? I cannot wait to bring some never-before-seen pieces from some personal collections, from some personal friends of mine, and some artists I work with, Simone Bianchi and Simone Di Meo. The background of this episode is I think sometimes, we as collectors maybe forget that artists collect, or that maybe artists collect differently than collectors do. And I wanted to bring something to the CAF Plus channel to give some insight in how artists pick up pieces, what drives them to add pieces into their own original art collection, how do they acquire them, all those different types of things. So I really am thrilled to bring in, first and foremost, Simone Bianchi.
Hello, Matt. How you doing?
Hey, swing around, Dr. Doom. You're here. Simo.
No. It's in sign of protest against whatever you want to protest with. I will do the whole interview backside like this.
I would just prefer if you spun around it. I'm sure the whole chat would as well. There
No, the reason is I'm way too handsome to show my face like this. And I don't want you guys feel a little too intimidated by my beauty.
Your stunning beauty. And then if anybody wasn't already blown away by the handsomeness that came in, then we add in Simone.
Hey guys.
Now there's no way.
First, like the first time, like Simo, you are so beautiful.
I know.
Like, sorry, Matt. Sorry about that, but it's just like real.
I mean, the first things first, how handsome he is, then we can move on with the rest of the episode for sure.
No. We're gonna talk for 2 hours straight about my
about you.
Well, as Casper said it best, is we actually needed the moments to prepare for your face. that was the big deal. Guys, thank you so much for hopping on. I really appreciate it. And I'm super excited because I know what's in your guys' collection because I've seen them. And but I think sometimes it gets lost that artists can also be collectors. And the basis of this episode is, you guys have been artists your whole life, but you've also been collecting art for a very long time. And, Simone Bianchi, you've been around art since the time you could breathe, with your father being a painter. And then, Simone, with your background, going into school, thinking about going into biology, and then changing gears and becoming an artist.
Which you should have, by the way.
Well, I think we're all thrilled that he didn't choose biology and that he's bringing back Age of Apocalypse X-Men with Jeff Loeb, other than doing biological tests. So we're really appreciative of that. And Simone Di Meo, congratulations, man! You've worked very hard. Super proud of you, and I can't wait to show off all the original art on the the interiors of the book. You can wait, Simo.
Thank you, guys. You can see. Yeah. Okay.
As long as it takes, I can.
You can wait.
No problem.
Before we really get started and dive into the collections, Simone Bianchi, I wanted to start with you, and then we'll go to Simone Di Meo. And a lot of new viewers on the CAF Plus channel. For maybe anybody that doesn't know, why don't you give a little bit of a background on yourself? How long you've been in the industry, and then when we started working together, Simone. He's not even paying attention.
No. I was looking at a brand new. No, it's not brand new. It's a huge piece, biggest piece I haven't painted in the past 10 years, and
his own work.
It's amazing.
His own work stopped him in his tracks.
No,
and it's killing me. But I might show this to you later. Anyhow, my background is that I wanted to be a tennis player. Then
it's like something that I don't know.
Yeah, of course, I didn't know that either. Sure. So no, okay. Jokes aside, I mean, there have to be a lot of jokes tonight because it's all about
yes.
Okay. And even collecting, it's all about having fun, not just thinking about this hobby as a mere opportunity of investing and making money over money. That is the wrong freaking
Yep.
side,
Absolutely.
or the wrong way to say it, if you ask me. So the same way we joke and fuck around about everything, we should keep that kind of spirit, even and foremost when it comes down to collecting and appreciating artists who have been around much, much longer than us, and who created the word, the fantasy word, and the comic and the books that we are working for. So that being said, I'm actually coming, as I think Matt mentioned already. He knows better than anybody else because it's been over my house, over my city a lot of times, unfortunately. Anyhow, he knows better than anyone else. My dad, Gianpaolo, who is 78 now, but he looks like Matt.
He's like 45. Guy looks like $1 million.
Unfortunately, and
Less.
more than once, I'm not kidding. I just want to underline that you boys are much younger than me, and you're drinking your ass off, and I don't need to drink nothing at all because I'm just so much better than you. That's it.
Okay. We wanted to stay hydrated, but you're fine. It's no problem.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I was born hydrated, so I don't need any more water for the rest. So anyhow, my dad has been a painter his whole life. He's driving around the city with a huge scooter with 3 wheels, just to give you an idea of what kind of a fucking character he is. And
he is one of a kind.
He is one of a kind. Thank God, I would say, because the world wouldn't be a big enough place for 2 Gianpaolo Bianchis, or even for 1 Gianpaolo Bianchi and 1 Simone Bianchi at the same time. That's
it's barely
the reason
enough.
why it's barely enough. Like anyhow, so he's been a painter his own life. He still paints. I mean, half he paints, half he goes online trying to be an influencer,
which I love. I love that. For those of
you
who
love, which
Gianpaolo,
I'm ashamed of.
But that's because he's your dad.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that would be entertaining. But not only that, he goes online a lot to study, come si dice, I don't even remember the Italian name for that, quantistic physics.
Quantum physics.
Quantum physics.
Yep.
So, like at that age, he needs to understand more in depth, not just what's going on about art, literature, or whatever other human activities, but what lies underneath everything. And the other thing that my dad, Gianpaolo, shares with my friend and brother, Matt DiTullio, and everybody knows what the F stands for, is their common beliefs for aliens. Is that true?
I mean, I don't speak Italian, but I talked to your dad with the translator about aliens. No doubt.
Yes.
They're real. And your dad, when he takes a hit of the vape pen and then goes live on Facebook and talks about like quantum physics and aliens, it's my favorite thing in the whole world at 80 years old.
Amazing story.
Amazing. Just a creative
soul. I know it might sound a little far from what I was supposed to explain, but it's not that far at all.
Yeah. Well, as long as you realize that.
Yeah.
Because we still haven't heard the city that you're from or how long you've been painting, and we've been talking for 8 minutes.
Yeah, but the fact that my dad is a true alien believer and he studies quantum physics,
quantum physics. Yep.
Quantum physics. When it's 80, all these hints should give you a final picture of what I do and the way I am right now. Anyhow, I've been painting my whole life because my dad put brushes, pencils, and canvas in my hands way before I was able to learn to read and write. Oh my God, I told this story a million times, and I have to come up with some kind of different bullshit that I can bullshit people with. Like I was
the story itself is still reasonable.
Yeah, what about this? I was in a gypsy village with our friend Alex Malev, and we've been kidnapped by aliens, and they actually taught me and Malev how to draw and paint. Only thing I succeed, it just fucked it up.
Just, he didn't get everything that he needed, but
not at all. But anyhow, I've been painting my whole life, drawing and painting my whole life. I started when I was 2 years and a half. I'm 52, turning 53 in a month, and I've been painting the whole day. And for the last 5 days, because of a huge comic convention that we're not gonna talk about happening this weekend.
Yes.
We're very interested.
And I'm basically working like 10 hours, 12 hours every single day, 8 to 2 o'clock in the nighttime. So it's been nonstop since then.
So just been putting in the work, and
I only stopped for 3 years, from when I was 17 to when I was 20, because of the drumming and
your passion for drumming.
Yeah, that was the only.
You've also been doing, you've been doing published covers, illustrations, pages for 30 years, right? I mean, working through, the industries and seeing all different types of, and seeing all different types of art throughout, your career, starting from, Tuscany and in Lucca and the Tuscan region, then been all over the world to all different types of conventions. And, the overpowering thing that you've seen through your whole life has been different types of art. It's just been art throughout,
Now you make me look like an old fart, which I am. I mean, that's just the reality of it. What was that noise?
Nothing.
Somebody was anyhow. So I actually start getting paid for drawing Sunday strip when I was 15, which unfortunately in 2 years is gonna make 40 years since then.
That just means you're just about to hit your prime. You're just about to hit your prime. Yeah,
absolutely. But I will stop the interview right here. 40 years, I'm done.
No, we need you to paint for at least you got to get that to 60 or 70. We got a lot more things we got to do, and you got a lot more things you got to paint, and a lot more art that you have to collect.
At least for 50 years longer.
And we've been working with each other for what, 4 years now, 5 years? What's it been? New York Comic Con.
I think it's 4 years, because it was the year right after COVID hit, or 2 years later. The first New York convention that we did together seriously, for 2 minutes, we had a brilliant idea. You, Gloria, actually you and Gloria, me, just follow your advice.
You just painted.
I'm just taking it. We were welcoming collectors in our hotel. How can you call that kind of?
We like rented like the green room in the hotel, essentially, like a reception room, and we just held VIP appointments to come in, see the portfolio, because there are a lot of people that were still very nervous post-COVID about the amount of people being that close, spending amount of time. But the convention was back. So when we kind of put that together, that was something that was really special. And it gave people a lot of one-on-one experience with you, in the art, and without having the difference of the, everybody crowding them at the convention.
If I remember correctly.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was October 2022, which makes in few months it's gonna be years already that we've been working together.
Yep. And then, to transition over to Simone Di Meo. Simone, I gave a little background about you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about where you're from, what you started working on in the industry, and then we'll touch on a little bit more about your X-Men announcement that just came out.
No, yeah. But before anything else, I do have a very serious, big, important question.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
Simone, and it's the same question that I also need to ask. Okay, but no, I'm not saying I'm asking Simone right now.
But you need to ask him in the future.
Maybe
after. I need to ask this question, and I've been thinking about asking this question for a long time, which next time that we're going to be together, which I don't know, maybe, this summer, we'll be sitting down with all the calm in the world, and me and Matt, we're going to make the question. That's it.
We'll make sure that we do a nice presentation.
I can't wait.
Tell us a little bit about your background, Di Meo.
So my story is not like the same of the big Simone one. It's like more boring, and I don't have like a painting father, amazing one that tried to do some influencer thing inside the social media. I don't have nothing about that. So it's just like a normal story about a guy that read comic book for all the life, and just found a school of art when I was like 19 years old. And I just think, okay, maybe I can do something that I really love, like not like a reader, but like an artist. And I tried, and right now this is my life. So I just like not an amazing
fast forward
story.
About 10 years of hard work.
Like 12 years after. But so no, I just read comic book for all my life. My father and my mother read comic book when I was young, and I start like drawing at I think 5-6 years old. Try to color the draw that my father did for me. So I just like a good story about family that read comic book for all the life. And I started here as an inker in Italy, as a.
No, I'm sorry. No, it's so good. I was just
okay.
Just testing the flexibility of the camera.
Yeah, just to know. Okay, so and I just and I start my career as an inker here in Italy for famous like magazine. The name is Topolino, Mickey Mouse. And after like I think, okay, maybe I can try to do some drawing and not just a part of this. And I grab a airplane for 5 years and try to like enter in the US market for years. And after like doing, I did it. And right now I just try to stay online for this market that I love, that give me all the possibility to my career. So I'm happy about that. And
you did Boom Studios, then a little. Was it Marvel first and then Boom Studios, or Boom Studios
in the same time? No, in the same month. After I didn't work for years in the US market, and in the same month, a Boom Studios series and a Marvel one shot. So just like a crazy month, absolutely. But
and then transition to DC.
Oh yeah. After 3 years that I worked for US market, after two Boom Studio series, Marvel, some different Marvel books, not a lot. I start working for DC with Ben, my editor, with a lot of different covers, a lot of different characters, like Simone. So like Simone did a lot of variant cover and main cover for DC, like me. And I did an amazing series like Batman Robin. So, and Batman Robin is like our connection series, because we met first time in Orlando 2 years ago, guys. 2 years ago, and we just talk about a lot of different things and think about work together maybe one day. And
a very so Ram just asked a great question. Which series at Boom? So I know you did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Power Rangers.
And
Find them when they're dead.
And the main series of Power Rangers. Yeah, I did a long run. Yeah.
And then, it's very interesting that you brought that up, because a little story that maybe a lot of people don't know is when I was at the convention in Florida with Simone Bianchi, your announcement for Batman and Robin was happening. And I remember him coming up and talking to you. And I said, oh, yeah. He goes, Simone Bianchi said, have you seen his work? And I said, yeah. And he looked right at me and he said, you should try to work with him because this guy's good. And I remember after that, then we had, he was lying. Then we had Toronto, and I'm not a big DC collector for those that don't know. And I remember reading Batman and Robin issue 1 for the first time and being like, wow, this is really great. So that was kind of I would say a leaping off point. And then it turned into Brave and the Bold, and now for your works with Marvel. So it's been quite a journey for you in the past 2.5, 3 years.
3 years. Yes. Yeah. Like a lot of work. But I'm happy about that. So right now yesterday we did the announcement for the new series with Jeff Lord, that it's a friend of all here. And I'm so excited because it's an important series. Age of Apocalypse is an important series. So I just try to do my best to create something good, and I'm pretty excited.
Amazing. So I love the recap that we did. And now I want to get into some art from your guys' personal collection, some things that you guys have brought in, throughout the years of being in the industry, collecting. And I wanted to preface this with, it's very different on how collectors and artists collect. I'm in a very unique spot where I get to talk to a lot of collectors and I get to talk to a lot of artists. And the way artists collect versus the way a collector collects is very different. It's very different. And as Simone Bianchi said in the intro, and we didn't talk about that, but it was a perfect lead in, is that yes, there is money to be made in our industry. Yes, it's what keeps everything going. But without the passion and without the, unique perspectives, the love, the different takes on how to do certain things, the new ways of trying, going back to the old ways with a new twist. So I've seen a lot of artists that have added art to their collection that has, I would say, no value as a key issue or as a, birth page or anything. They love it because it's phenomenal art. Like, that's the reason. And us as collectors, I'll speak for mine. We want to know, what issue did it come from? What page was it? Who did the pencils? Who did the inks? And when I talk to you guys, you're like, I don't know any of that shit. I just love it.
Sure.
And I wanted to make sure that got brought up before, because there's going to be some people in the chat that are going to be like, well, what page is this? And you guys don't know. Or what?
I don't fucking know.
You bought it because you absolutely loved it, or you added it to your collection because it spoke to you, not because of the issue or, the significance or the dollar amount, just because it was a stunning piece of art. And there are collectors out there that collect like that. I want to make that clear. But for the most part, we as collectors want to do a lot of digging. We want to understand everything before we buy, and artists approach it with a very much more, this is beautiful, or I love it.
Different.
So I'll add it to my collection.
Brother.
Yeah.
So
with that being said,
Matt, can I just ask something really quick?
Sure.
Is there any chance we also, or I also can take a look at the chat with the questions, because I can't see shit.
Yeah, up top there should be a button that says chat on the side of your screen somewhere.
You can find comments.
Comments, yeah.
Comments. Oh, Oh, there you go.
There you go. Look at Simo.
Perfect, Simo. Perfect, Simo.
This is a fellow Italian, guys. This is Tony Perna, another artist who's at OAX in 2025. And, you know, if the art speaks to me, I want it in my collection, regardless. And that is something that I've really tried to adapt in mine. A very wise collector friend of mine once told me, you get to a certain point where you just start buying with your eyes for your personal collection, for things that you want to keep. You just buy it because when you see it, you love it. And that's a great comment from Tony. So I appreciate that. And then Ram with, you know, another one. It's a combination of artists, characters, and visual appeal. Otherwise, I'd be broke. It's also great that, you know, as collectors, to set limits. You know, what do you collect? Where do you want to stay? I think when I first started collecting, my vision was like this wide. I wanted everything. I wanted anything that was Black Bolt or whatever. And then as I got, you know, more into it, I started to realize that I wanted to narrow my field, or otherwise I'd have no money. So first, I wanted to start off with a piece from Simone Di Meo's collection. This is a kick-ass illustration, John Romita Jr. pencils, Scott Hanna. No problem, Simo. I put their Instagram on there just in case anybody in the chat wanted to go and look up. Guys, every artist on here is a phenomenal artist. I would suggest following them on social media if you can. But Simo, you and I had talked about some pieces in the past, and we kind of have a thing where, like, you tell me, if you see this character by this artist, try to get it for me and we'll work something out. And this was one of those. And tell me about your love for not only, you know, Kick-Ass, but also just John Romita Jr. in general.
A genius, if I may say, a genius.
Yeah, absolutely. So John Romita Jr. is one of my favorite artists, but for different reason. Like my primary personal reason is that some years ago I read for the first time like Kick-Ass and changed my vision about the US market. So from Italy, sometimes we can just think about that US market is like superheroes market, just DC and Marvel and other stuff. And when I read Kick-Ass for the first time, I think, okay, wow, we can do something like that in US. Okay, I need it. And I just start reading, and my passion for the storytelling of John Romita Jr. Start from this series. And after I read a lot of different books from him, and so Kick-Ass for me is like the first jump inside the US market, and the first time that I think, okay, maybe I can try to work for this market for this reason. So so this piece I have like different reason because it's one of my favorite piece. And I have this piece because so you find for me. So I'm just so happy about that. So just
absolutely. And I when I first asked him, you know, why did you like Kick-Ass, or why do you like Kick-Ass? I mean, you told me that story. You know, that was just I had read Kick-Ass, I had seen the movies, and I never came at it from that perspective about reading it, you know, with a fresh pair of eyes and this being in the market. And it was something a little bit more like
from Italy
and gritty.
Matt, from Italy. Yeah, from another country with another idea about market. So it just changed my mind.
Beautiful. I love it. Rich, you are very welcome. Thank you for the support. And Will, a fellow Buffalonian. Hello, my friend. Simo, let's go to the next piece, because this one's, to be honest with you, this one has really grown to me. I think one of my favorite pieces in your collection.
Okay.
This is
Simo, it's first time that you know that it's mine right now.
Yeah.
Because this piece is crazy. So it's Wolverine versus Sabretooth. It's a sideshow. It was published as a sideshow fine art print by Julian Totino Tedesco. And the background story on this one was Simo and I, after OAX, we were walking around Disney, and there was Marvel prints all over the place. And one of them was this one. And I said, man, in the Spider-Man one. And I said, man, I love Tedesco's work. He's incredible. You know, this stuff is
incredible.
And Simone said, I didn't know you liked him. I love his work. If you ever see any, please let me know. And I think we worked out a trade for this one, Simo, or however we worked it out. But I mean, look at the pencil work on this piece. I mean,
it's insane. Incredible. Insane. So this guy is like,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Simo?
No, I was just saying really quick. Right now, I do have few artists that I look up to with the same passion that I used to have for whatever name we've been talking about, like Romita Jr., Castellini, or Neil Adams, Ross, Sienkiewicz. Too many to name, but few of them have remained as hot to me as they were back then. And one of these is Tedesco, Julian Coutinho. It's just every time I see a cover from him, he always has something to say. I don't know how else to explain that. It's like he does have a vision, and that is priceless for an artist. I'm sorry.
And no, it's I'm absolutely in. And for me, it's like a perfect balance of all the images. So just all the elements are perfectly balanced in the composition and like the anatomy and the style, and sometimes the amazing different ideas of like to tell some stories inside a single image. So, and I'm grateful to Matt about this piece, because this pencil is absolutely incredible. So the technique,
his work it's harder to come by. You don't see a lot of his original artwork just out and about. You don't see it. But when I got this piece in person, I mean, this one was just first off, I love that it's a little more Sabretooth focused, because a lot of Sabretooth Wolverines, it's Wolverine with a little Sabretooth. But I think the balance is stunning, and like just this vertical tree to the left of Sabretooth. The shade, you can almost see the bark on the tree from the pencil. And it was digitally colored, and the digital colors look stunning, but the pure pencils here are just incredible. They're incredible.
The crazy thing is, like, if the image don't need more, he don't put more. So it's just like perfect. It's perfect. So, and I love this piece. And so the digital color, incredible. So and the pencil too. So
you get the beauty of the traditional graphite pencils that everybody loves, and let's say maybe the more old school collectors go to that, but then you also get the beautiful digital colors for the newer school collector that wants everything bright and in its traditional colors. So really, really beautiful piece here. Now we're going to switch over to two pieces from the Bianchi collection. Now this one we couldn't get a scan of because, Simo, this is hanging in your studio. So I'm not going to say the name of the story because I'll butcher it, but it's Milo Manara page. So why don't you say the name and tell us a little bit about this and, when you got it?
Milo Manara, who is now a friend, but who has been a huge influence on my own artwork. He did this amazing, surreal story back in the 80s, and the writer of this story was nobody less than Federico Fellini. Is quite possibly one of the 5 best film directors of
in the history
of the entire history of humankind. And they were really close, and they got close because Mr. Fellini was a huge fan of drawing. He was an artist himself. He really loved to draw. So they put together this amazing story, which is actually based on a true story. And then, of course, as all the time happens, they added details and, like a novelization, is that a right word? They put this kind of novelization to the real story, and this is one of the page. The size is just right here. Give me one. It's right here.
And one of the things that made me want to do this episode is because I've seen a lot of things. I've seen both of your studios. I've seen both of your collections, and it's always interesting to me because I would ask, where'd you get this, or how'd you pick this up, or whatever it is. And I remember the first time I came into Luca at the studio. We'll get to a couple other pieces, that I won't mention, but I remember seeing this and looking at you and being like, "Is this a Manara page?" And you were like, "Well, of course." I was like, "Oh, well,
Yeah.
my first time here. I'm not sure."
No, yeah, it's big. I want to say I can say in centimeters. I'm not sure in inch.
I think it's 13 by 19.
Yes, it's about 40 centimeters by 62, something like that, and it's full ink. There's a lot of patchwork, especially in the third panel in the central strip, which, if you ask me, I love patchworks.
I love
different version of collectors because artists love patchwork.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Collectors
I try every time to see like the original panel under the patch because it's amazing.
It's the change of mind that lies behind what it ended up.
I know that usually the collector hate this type of thing because like it's like dirty in the paper with like the glue, something like that.
I love it.
Those collectors,
I love it.
Those collectors who don't like patch or patchwork, they just I want to be very polite. They are very silly collectors.
I like it because it's what could have been to then what was. Like
yes,
what was the original
exactly.
to that. Yeah.
I mean, it's there's a word in Italian which is beautiful. A friend of mine told me once. Cazzo. I can't remember.
Cazzo.
Cazzo. I can't fucking remember that word. It's rethinking.
Yeah.
It's just a rethought. Something that you think in a certain way in the first place, and then you got over it again, and you rethought about the same thing, but from a different point of view.
And came out with a different result.
Or guys, your editor think different and you need it. So just
sometimes in Italy especially that can happen. I have to say I drew, I think, thousands of pages for Marvel and DC. They only asked me to do a patchwork once on the first story that I did with Grant Morrison, and other than that, if there is some patchworks on some of my pages, it's because it was my call and I wasn't happy enough. I'm never happy.
It's never actually done.
Absolutely.
No, it's crazy.
It's the right way.
And you know what, Matty? We've been joking a lot about this expression. It's never actually done. And since we start making that joke, the whole thing got much worse for me. Because, I kind of became aware how true that statement is.
Yep.
So I got, Maddie and Simone saw, he saw it on my phone. I do have a proper gallery right next to me. Okay, now it's half empty because
what a nice desk. What a nice desk. The cabinet there in the back. That came right from Torino.
It's not a desk. It's a flat file.
I love it. Yeah,
just like an architect.
Yes, for sure. He waits like a fucking elephant before taking a shit. I mean, before
2 tons.
The morning shit. Yeah, a morning shit.
Now,
so,
Simo, real quick though, because I'm going to test your knowledge on this next one. Do you remember how you got this piece?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't have a clue what was that for. When you say some hot daughter of hot bullshit,
Hulk number 13 by Eddie Granov, and this is early Granov because look at the look at the pure pencil. I mean, the pencil works here are just incredible.
Crazy work here.
The amount of work is incredible.
So again, what is the name of the book?
Son of Hulk number 13. It was a published cover.
Okay, Son of
and
Hulk.
It's Simone piece, right?
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, guys. Like collectors, I want you to understand, like there isn't a need for them, the artists, to understand the cover, the issue, the import. They just
no problem at all.
Just want to add it to their collection because it's beautiful.
Better Call Bot, flat file. What the fuck? That's what I said.
Flat file for the win.
Flat file. Yeah.
Yep. Nailed it. So this piece.
And anyhow, yes, this one, I traded this one. I actually traded the Milo Manara. Oh, I got a great story. But I can't tell. I had another. Okay, I'm going to give you some hint, especially to you, Fox, because you can understand that. I did have a very nice piece of a super close friend of mine, an Italian painter, not very tall.
I know. Yeah, okay. I already know who it is.
Okay. And a colossal pain in the ass, like of biblical proportion, as biblical proportion. And so I had this piece of him hanging on my wall, and a friend of fellow collector, Luca Baldi, he came over, he saw the piece, and he goes like, hey, what about this? I can get you a Milo Manara original page from Viaggio a Tulum, which is the name of the story. Viaggio a Tulum, trip to Tulum. Tulum is a real place in Mexico, on the sea, on the shore. So, and I say, okay, it's done. And my dear friend, he didn't know shit about this story. He didn't know that I traded one of his piece. By the way, he gave me for free. No, he gave me as a trade. But the little fuck, I find out later on that he resold more than one of the piece that I gave it to him as trade. So
it all worked. It all worked out.
It all worked out.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
it's so good. I mean, it's a nice joke, but I can't wait to let him know, because I never did yet, and to let the little fuck know, hey, now that you're so happy because of the new Pope, I can't let you know. I can't let you know about this story.
There you go.
Anyhow, these two, the Eddie Granov piece was a trade from Mantova Comics, which I think Simone Di Meo remember. I don't know if you, Simone, if you ever been there. And
just one time.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was kind of an American.
Yeah, it's like that
oriented.
Yeah, Simone, like a lot of friends of US like doing the first time Marvel portfolio review in Mantova, right?
Yes, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
So we'll switch over from the Granov and Bianchi back to Di Meo, to your collection. So this is a Gwen Stacy #1 from a close friend of all of us here. That's live from Sarah Pichelli. For those that are Italian, and if you are ever in Italy, hold on. If you're ever in Italy, it's Pichelli and it's Dell'Otto. It's not Pichelli and Dell'Otto. But you saw how the reaction went there. But that's how we say
too much.
This is a Gwen Stacy #1. Simo. I'll lead with this story because I actually saw this piece for the first time, and it I thought immediately when I saw this, I thought it should have been like hung up in a coffee shop. I thought it should have been like a beautiful piece of artwork. You know, I love that she's got the purse in the background. She's got the espresso. She's got the, you know, the iced, you know, Pellegrino water in the back there. She's reading. I just thought it was a beautiful piece of art and something a little different from what Sara normally does.
Yeah.
And I had purchased this piece and then you saw it and loved it. So we ended up working out a trade where I got my first Batman cover ever from you. So, but explain why you love this piece as well, because I remember when you saw it, you said, Matt, I really, what do we need to do here? Because it was something you really liked from Sara.
So, I love Sara's work from when I was like at the beginning of my career. So Sara is like an inspiration for a lot of Italian artists in the past, like 15 years. So just, and when I saw this piece for the first time, I think, okay, this is absolutely elegant. So Sara had like an amazing like shapes, and for me, this piece is like all the thing that she's doing better. The face of the character is amazing. The shapes, the ink, like the watercolor, it's like all perfect, and the pose is like a normal pose in a bar. So it's just like an amazing piece for me, and it's my first piece of Sara. So it's just like I'm so happy about that, and it's like maybe next time Miles Morales piece, maybe it's possible.
That's fair. I mean, that's
possible.
obviously what she's known for. But then when you see something like this, that's almost opposite of the web slinging and the, this was almost like fine art. And for me, the thing that brought me to it was the way she did the belt going across.
I love that.
It's incredible.
I love that. If you don't know that this girl is Gwen Stacy, it's just like an amazing piece of elegant art. So it's just like,
well
and
done.
sometimes I really love this type of thing. So it's an amazing piece, and I know that Sara's work is like famous for Miles Morales, but here I can find all the things that I love about the Sara style. So it's the perfect like piece for my collection.
Amazing. Now the next one, this one is Simone Di Meo through and through. I mean,
I know what it is.
This is such a Simone Di Meo hype boy piece. But please, this is Simone.
No,
Di Meo
please, Matt.
collection. No, it's
tell the story about this piece.
It's a sail. The title is Sailboat. It's for the Louis Vuitton travel book that Esad Ribic did by Esad. Simone, Esad is, you know, new to the DiTullio Art Collective team. Love having him on the team. Can't wait to do an event, which will be OAX 2026, guys, where it'll be the first time that all members of DiTullio Art Collective are together under one roof at one convention. But we were doing La Mole in Mexico, and it was me and Simone Di Meo and Esad. And Simone Di Meo loves Louis Vuitton. And I said, did you know Esad did a Louis Vuitton travel book? His jaw almost hit the floor. The next two breakfasts, all we talked about was the Louis Vuitton travel book. And before the La Mole convention ended, Simone had found a piece of Louis Vuitton travel art from Esad. So, Simo, I mean, look at the painting. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, it's amazing. And so I love the Esad work. And if you put like Esad work with one of the most important brand in the world, so all together in the same book, it's like perfect for my collection. So it's just like an amazing piece of art. And it's like, I know the Esad work and I know the Louis Vuitton like brand. So it's just perfect to put in some like wall in my apartment, maybe in front of some shoes or something like that I love. So it's just like an amazing piece of art.
It's the same thing. What I really loved about, and I own a piece of the Louis Vuitton travel art as well, travel book art as well, is I'm so thankful that you guys work in comics, because when I see something like this, like, you know, Esad could be a fine art painter. He could be a nature paint, you know, for us to be able to have the talent and the dedication to our industry that the artist that we have, I'm so thankful for, because, you know, another quick example, I was flipping through Alex Maleev's portfolio once at New York Comic Con, and in the very last back page, there was just a a landscape illustration painting. And I was like, what's this? He goes, oh, that's not supposed to be in there. I loved it. I ended up buying it because I didn't see anything like that from him before. And I've always wondered, you know, what it would look like. And seeing Esad doing these, you know, 80 paintings for the book, and all these different things he saw. I mean, the mountainsides that he did, the boats, the helicopters, you know, it was, you know, for those that don't know, little quick update is the Louis Vuitton travel book was all based on Hawaii. So Louis Vuitton sent Esad to Hawaii, and he stayed there for a couple weeks. He took a ton of pictures, he painted live while he was there. But to get to see a painting like this was just extremely cool to me, where it wasn't a comic book character. Simo, go ahead.
I think Simone need.
Okay, this is all quite fascinating and thrilling. But the best part about Esad Ribic doing these outstanding paintings, it's not the paintings.
It's you thinking of him being on a sailboat?
No. It's the video, because there is a video. I challenge you, Fox, to go over YouTube and see the video of Esad F. Ribic lay down on a beach like this with a cigarettes. I swear to God, it's one of the most hilarious thing you will ever see within the next 10 months. It's posing like a mermaid, like this.
Yes.
Only with a belly.
Like a mermaid.
Yes, it's just and smoking. And I mean, Matt, you know that I love Esad to death. I love Alex and Esad like two brothers. Not only like two brothers, like two. No, I didn't say that. Like two young brothers, which they're just two of the most the funniest people I ever met in my life. But if you see that video of Esad in his flip flops walking around this Caribbean island,
hilarious.
I love it.
Yeah, and every now and then just lay down like a whale on a beach.
Simo, he lost a lot. So Esad, you haven't seen Esad in a while. He looks great. He lost a lot of weight. He stopped drinking pop. That was his problem, apparently. I don't know. But figure drawing, you made a comment about fine art and equal.
Shit. I don't believe that until the moment I see it.
I'm just saying figure drawing. What I was saying is that some of these things in this slideshow today aren't comic book character driven. It's more, this would be considered fine art driven. That's all that I was alluding to. So back to the Bianchi collection, and from the same artist, but now going directly to a comic book.
Different way. A different way.
Now, Simo, I remember your studio the first time I came in. I said, where did you get this? And you looked back at me, you said, I did a trade with Esad for it. Because I remember reading Silver Surfer Requiem. I actually remember this page because I remember the bottom, Simone Di Meo, half splash.
Half splash, sure.
I loved it. I mean, the composition here, the way the board starts at the edge of the pages, moves all the way in. And I mean, this is hanging up literally right above the bookshelf in your studio still, right?
Oh, yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
See?
You know, this page is
we can see.
Yeah, and right, Blake. I mean, this is an amazing piece of art, and it's two of the Marvel's blue chip characters, and somehow it ended up in Tuscany, in Lucca, in the outside of the walls, hanging on your wall, Simo. So tell us a little bit about it.
Honest to God, I do not have a single slightest clue how I got in possession of this stunning, beautiful piece. I don't think it was a trade, as that is such a bear.
Well, the only reason I asked him, and he said he doesn't collect art. He doesn't have any art. I would have loved to have him on this episode. He has no art. He has none.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't two shits and two fucks in a row about anybody. So he said, it's not that I don't want to trade art with you. I don't want to trade art with nobody.
Oh, Jesus.
The impression is spot on.
So what that comes down to is that I think I traded this.
Castro has put the link in the chat for the video.
Oh my God.
We can see.
Oh my God. Thank you, Castro. I loved you already. Now I love you even more.
Castro for the win. Bianchi said, I challenge you. Castro said, challenge accepted. And about 3 minutes later, it was found.
Now he was so the minute I say, I challenge you, fuck.
Yeah.
Then Castro say, okay, I'm in, all in. So I think I traded this one with Claudio Bobuts.
Bobuts.
Yeah, which I think you guys both know. Simone, you know Claudio, right? Lo conosci Claudio?
No, maybe no.
He's a good guy.
I don't remember.
Dealer. He's a good guy.
Yeah, quel ragazzo in carrozzina perché ha fatto un incidente grave.
Ok. He's a collector.
Sì, era un collezionista, ora è più un art dealer. Comunque, anyhow, I think I did a trade with Claudio. I don't remember what I traded. What piece of mine I traded this for, but I did the right thing. And then I do have another piece from this story, Requiem.
You have a second page from Requiem, but this is the better one now. This one's
no, but the second page actually is getting back to they never really actually done or finished. Esad was not 100% happy with that splash page and redid the whole splash page. So I have the first version, which is still outstandingly beautiful. And it's, I don't know where it is, because I got so many pieces that are lying inside the portfolio. And so they're not, I don't have space.
Now, but
any space left, any room left. And I need these walls for my own stuff to be displayed and ready for collectors to come over and throw a lot of money to me.
There you go.
There you go.
Now, speaking of pieces that are in portfolios that maybe you have had throughout the years and you put in back in the room next to the bathroom upstairs, you know, in your storage room. But what about this that is on the wall upstairs? None of these are in portfolios. There's nothing. I remember walking up the stairs for the first time at your studio. This is
an Italian story.
Oh my God. I had to ask. I said, you know, Simo, I love all the art, but I have no idea what it's from.
For sure.
So first of all,
you come up. Hold on. You come up the steps to his studio, and to the right are all statues for reference. On the floor are all of his kids' Legos. God bless the boys. And then
no Legos anymore.
And then on the back wall,
tons of pages in the wall.
On the back wall is all this art, and I mean, this is all Nathan Never #1. It's your personal collection that you.
This guy is obsessed.
From Claudio Castellini. So I mean, it's amazing. How many? What are you missing? 1 or 2 pages?
No. Wait. Okay, let me tell you the whole story.
Please.
First of all, I should walk on the other room to count them, but I think the one that I have in the other room, which is not the Lego room anymore, soon to be my drumming recording studio, by the way.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, not really soon. Let's say
years.
In a year at least. I have to finish something else first, and you both fucks know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, so these are supposed to be about 25 pages. Then I do. Wait. Let me move my computer.
Simo, it's like a 94 pages book.
Yes, but I do have cazzo. It's impossible to move my computer. But anyhow, if you take a look,
Simo, don't try to pick up your desktop. Don't try to pick up,
please.
These two are 4 pages more, and these are my favorite pages, by the way. and they're standing up right here, right next to 3 paintings of my dad's paintings, which are equally amazing, if not better. Anyhow, the story goes down like this. I bought this Nothing Never issue number 1 back in the springtime of 1991.
Just for reference, that was the year I was born, Simone. Just want to let you know.
Okay.
And me no. A year after. So just like.
And he's gone.
No, Simone, please, we need it. We need you.
Yeah, but my story is finished.
No, it's just.
It was just getting started. The year that you bought it, I was born. It was a big deal. It was a good year.
Yeah, but I mean, it's you now.
Simone, you start your career in what is that? Like the year?
1987.
I love it.
1987. 5 years before you.
Yes, born.
A piece of shit were born.
All right, take a seat and tell us the story. Come on.
Now, okay, so I flipped through this book, springtime 1991, and I've been haunted since then. It was like almost metaphysical experience. But the end of the whole experience was that I closed the book and I thought to myself, okay, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to do this as at least as good as he is doing. And then I thought to myself, I want to do this even better if I manage to. Which sometimes maybe I do sometimes. I mean, these pages are absolutely insane. And so I find when I finally start to make some money with my own work, I decided.
And we are happy.
What is that?
No, we are happy about that.
When you started making some money with your own work, that was good for all of us.
Can I finish my story before you two knuckle fucking heads keep busting my balls? Anyhow, so when I start making some money, I said, you know what? I gonna try to rebuy the whole book from page 1 to page
94.
94.
I didn't realize it was that big of an issue. Like, why is it
Matt?
like
because in Italy, this type of book is like all 94 pages. So every month,
issue is 94 pages.
Every fucking month, yes.
A monthly 94.
Yeah, we need like usually in Bonelli we need to work like for 2 years on a monthly book. So just
wow.
So I decided. I go after these pages. Now, what I really fucked up myself with is that now all Italian collectors know that I'm after all these pages, and everybody trying to take
buy from you
out of it, and they all can kiss my ass big time. I'm serious. I'm gonna keep buying these pages for the right prices, but not for some crazy, stupid prices that some fuckers think I'm so stupid to pay just because.
You are a collector, sure.
Yeah, I'm a collector. I'm also an artist.
You know,
we do have an expression here in Tuscany: you're not going to steal in a thief house.
Yep.
You know, so don't come and trying to teach me what
the price is for these pages when you've been buying them
and how the business works. So you can go.
Number one, that would be Simone Bianchi and Howard Chaykin. No host, just put him on and let him go. It would be.
Oh, I never met the guy, but anyhow, so. I think so far I have some 26, 27 from that issue. I got 2 more from another story that he did back then in the 90s. Unfortunately, Claudio confirmed to me that 5 of those pages, which in his opinion were the best pages out of the whole story, they were stolen.
Jeez.
Like 30 something.
I'm so sorry, Simo.
Yeah, 30 some years ago during an exhibition. So I would probably never be able to recollect the whole thing together unless I find those...
You can try to ask to Claudio to redo the pages.
Yeah, just tell. Yeah, Claudio, just these just redo.
Yeah, it's gonna ask me for about €1 million.
Probably,
now,
yes.
Now we've talked about a lot of great artists on this show so far.
Yeah,
and I think there's some artists. There's artists that artists love. There's some for example, I know for both of you, Bianchi, Coipel, Sienkiewicz, some of the people that you've mentioned before, Di Meo.
wait, I'm sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
Just one thing for being clear, and it's a serious thing for everybody who is following this Madhouse. It's Instagram, Claudio Castellini Instagram. It's not that Instagram.
Oh, really? I went on it. I thought he posted like a month and a half ago on that page.
Okay, let me rephrase that. That is Claudio's Instagram, but he was not born 1968. So this fucker, he's trying to take 2 years off. He was born 1966. I'm like 100.
What if his favorite number was 19 and his best friend's favorite number was 68?
I don't understand. I don't understand why he's trying to take 2 years away from. I mean, he's not far as much as I know. He's even older than me, and I didn't even know he had an Instagram account, which I am checking it right now. Probably it's like a porn star.
While we're live and you're doing that, we're gonna go back to the Di Meo collection. And the thing is there's artists, right? And there's
sure. Go ahead.
Coipel, Sienkiewicz, Di Meo. We've talked about Alex Ross, two new guys that we newer school, Simo, Di Meo that we love. Cal and Gu. Fabrizio De Tomaso, some guys, but then there's some artists that you just have to put in your collection. And I mean,
so
you had to
buy this piece just because the price was good. So
I love it. I love it.
So
I mean, this, you got a good deal on this piece. It was nice, but this piece means
that's because my art dealer.
I made no commission on this piece. This piece was like
zero, nothing.
Negative money. But
I love this. No, you know what? Wait,
you like this piece, Simone? You like this piece?
No, I think because this piece is stunning.
I love it, and you, as usual, you never send me a proper scan of this. So
really?
Yes.
Me neither. I have to back him up on that. I still don't have the proper scan.
Yeah. So since I'm working on something really big with an European publisher for a collection of my Marvel artwork, I want to have this piece in the book. So if you want to have your piece in the book, therefore, having the value of your piece increasing like crazy, you gotta send me a proper scan. You little fuck.
Good deal.
Good deal. Or you can send me the original painting back, and then I will send it. Confident. You can count on it.
The thing I'll say about this though is that this piece meant a lot to me. It was really cool because it was one of the first times that I was watching, Simone Bianchi paint, and then halfway through, you walked up and you go, "This piece is."
She looks so beautiful. I'm sorry.
No, he goes. He said to me, "I want to buy this one," And it was just a really cool experience. And you've somehow turned into Di Meo a little bit of a Thanos character collector somehow.
I'm sorry, Jessica's calling me for dinner.
Okay, just silence it or mute yourself.
I don't understand, Matt. Just because Simone doing some bullshit. I don't understand.
So I muted him. So you've somehow turned into like a Thanos character collector. You've picked up a couple
right now, yes, because I have one from Simone and one from Esad, but for no reason. I don't know why, but
that's probably the most two times of the most duplicated piece in your collection somehow. So you ended up picking this piece up. It was a painted headshot, and it is what it is. I mean, it's classic Simone, and I love the headshot level that he does.
So I know this guy from years, and I remember the first time that I saw Simone in my school, like 13 years ago, something like that. And he did like an amazing what you did, like workshop, workshop. And I just follow Simone for years, and his work changed some of my shapes, and you can find something close to Simone, like the hairs of women's or some shapes about commissions and other stuff. And I think this is the first convention that we did together, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, and I saw Simone paint this piece in live in front of me, and it's crazy good to see. And it's bigger, so it's just a A3 piece. Mm-hmm. So, and I think, okay, I need this piece for me. And yeah, you, Matt, did a good price for me, and I'm happy about that. So it's part of my collection, and I'm so proud of this.
I love it. And now from an Italian artist, quote unquote, I'll give you the legend stamp, Simo, to another literal, absolute legend. The Spirit page, published Will Eisner. Simo, I didn't even know you had an Eisner until we were speaking about where did you get this, and how, when did you pick it up, and what is Eisner meant to you through your career?
So this is one of the first expensive pieces that I buy. So I love Will Eisner because I'm a big fan of graphic novel books. So I just read a lot of graphic novel in my life, like so Will Eisner or Craig Thompson or other amazing artists. And Will Eisner is a legend. So he's a legend because he create some of the most iconic book in the world. And I'm a big fan of New York, New York City. So I'm a big fan of New York City, and Eisner did an amazing book that hit my mind forever. And I think, okay, I need a good piece of art from this legend. And I don't remember the year. Maybe I bought this page like 3 years ago. Okay. 3 years ago, yes.
It's a beautiful
but I buy it in Italy. So I buy it from a collector from a Cart Gallery. Cart Gallery is like a gallery in Rome. And I remember this piece because I saw the first time in a Lucca show about all the Will Eisner work. So I saw the first time in Lucca, and I think, okay, I need to buy a piece from this legendary artist. So, and when I buy it in Catania 3 years ago from Cart Gallery. When I saw first time in front of me, I say, okay, this is my piece, and I just buy it.
So I was gonna say it. I love the lettering in this page. Daniel Goodwin beat me to
it. The lettering is crazy.
The way the panels, the 8 panel with the 3, it's just a beautiful, beautiful page.
Yeah.
And Marcus actually asked, Simo, do you have any Dogas? And you do. You have some Naruto, Dragon Ball, and you have some painted cells in your collection. They're not featured on here, but you collect those as well because you're a big fan of anime and manga as well. So those
absolutely.
You have those in your collection.
Yeah. So I collect a lot of different things. So I just some from the legendary artists that I really love, and some from a new generation artist that I love and I follow the work. So I just collect because I just love the work. I love to see some original pages and different technique from like Japan or US or Europe is the same for me. Just to see something that I really love.
And I know the Naruto Dogas, you do have our Sasuke because he's your favorite.
Absolutely. The best.
Now, from the Di Meo collection to two pieces that I saw in person for the first time at the Bianchi studio that really blew me away. So the first is the Torch #7, published cover by Alex Ross. I mean, Simo, look at this. This thing is crazy. It's crazy. It's so good.
We can't just keep to the next image.
It's too much. It's too much.
The way he literally looks like he's molten with the close up in the foreground, the shatter of the ground. And then here he is. He's turning around. Liber Mejo page, stunning.
It's a Lee page, yes.
Yep. And then up there, yep. We can just see him. Please don't break your computer. I don't need Gloria getting upset at me that you broke your computer.
We need it.
But this cover is absolutely stunning. I love the ground of the piece, and then the background with the face, the detail that Ross can put in for the photorealism is just incredible.
It's just outstanding. And I got 4 Alex Ross.
Well, I mean, I don't want to skip past the Torch, but this one is a little bit, I would say, a little bit heavier, a little bit more of the Ross we're used to. The next one that I want to go to is my personal. I mean, see, this one.
Yeah.
This one
crazy
is
good.
Absolutely
it's insane,
mind-blowing. When you see it in the scan, doesn't do it justice. Photos don't do it. This piece, Space Ghost #2 by Alex Ross. The background is incredible. It is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Can you guys see it now?
Nah. Yeah, a little.
Okay, that's it. And it's I think this is one of the best. I think Ross painted thousands of covers, like literally. It's not like an exaggeration, and this one is one of his best piece ever. And
Simo, to ask you a question,
I think this is one of the few pieces that I actually paid half of it, and the other half of it I traded with Thanos double page spread.
There you go.
From Thanos Rising.
Something I've always noticed about Ross, and it's something that I wanted to ask you, is I just think he does like fire. Like the way he does fire is just incredible. And the way that this is coming off his hands, I mean, the technique here is just wild. I mean, it's so precise to make it look like it's a living flame. It's brilliant.
Yes. And I always have a fascination for explosions and fires and smokes myself since I was a kid. So I think that is part of the reason why I was so in love with this piece since the first time that I saw it. Because fire, my dad used to say, fire is one of the most difficult thing to draw or paint because it's in constant motion.
It's never stagnant. It's always moving. It's its own living thing. I mean,
it's in constant motion. And fast motion. But then I realized there is tricks and physics that you can start to understand to better draw or even paint. I think paint fire is easier than drawing fire. And what can I say? I'm a lucky man.
Two beautiful Alex Ross's. Torch #7, Space Ghost #2.
Amazing.
And 2 years ago, I got another beautiful Hawk cover with this big bull head character.
That was from his run on the Immortal Hulk. I remember that one.
Yes,
Yeah,
Immortal
an Immortal Hulk cover.
And
so to go from the Bianchi collection with 2 Rosses, let's hop back to the Di Meo collection with maybe not something painted, but something equally as impressive is. I mean, Simone didn't see these. Please, I'm going to let you guys talk because I can't say the name. And I know that, Toppi is a big influence on your career, Di Meo. So why don't you take it from here and tell me a little bit about this page?
Best artist ever had.
I can just say this. So so Sergio Toppi is like one of the most like master of Italian like art, and for me and not just for me, for all my generation and the past generation and the past generation is like one of the most beautiful artists that did crazy thing like technique, composition, and like all the thing that you can do at the best. So just I saw this piece 2 years ago, and I think, okay, so Toppi is famous for the illustrations usually, but when I saw these pages, I just think, okay, I can find here like all the amazing technique of Toppi. So all the texture, all the amazing like shapes, all the things. So I need this page, and I buy it. So it's one of my favorite piece for a lot of different things. So it's from Il Giornalino. It's like a magazine, old Italian magazine from, I don't remember, Simo, what is the year of Il Giornalino? You remember?
È durato tanti anni. I would say it was out in the 60s already.
Yes.
And
this was out in the 60s. It looks generations ahead.
But I mean,
no. This piece is not from the 60s.
Oh, yeah, the book. Okay, got you.
One maybe is from the 80s, early 80s, but still like 100 years ahead of everybody else. And I remember talking to him once. He was such a gentleman.
I never meet in person. I
talked to him 2 or 3 times. He was such a gentleman, just like me.
Yeah, of course. Just like you mean, you're like
absolutely.
You're like the picture of gentleman. For me, the top panel here, what is it, like the tree, but the house in the background with like you can tell it's like a hayed roof, and then the bottom left panel.
Insane.
The hand in the gun are just they're just perfect. They're just you're just perfect.
Anyhow, when I was talking to him, he told me that he didn't have a lot of influence from comic book artists. Not really a lot of, but the main and biggest influence on him was Gustav Klimt, the painter, the Austrian painter from the 19th centuries. And he said Gustav Klimt, it was just the best artist of the past century. And what I'm trying to do with my work, I'm trying to incorporate what he was doing with his paintings to black and white pages or illustrations. It's just incredible. It was pure genius.
Castra, thank you for that. If anybody is looking to see more Toppi art in the States, Magnetic Press, they did a Toppi series. Hit the link, and if some Alex Ross art is good, then more Alex Ross art is better. So, Simo, Injustice number 5, Injustice Inc. number 5, published cover, Alex Ross. I mean, the composition of this painting is here. It's right up behind you. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. So Alex Ross is a genius. So, and I'm like, the first time that I saw years ago, I think, okay, it's amazing. and for years, I saw every single cover or illustration at the same level. It's crazy. So he doing a tons of work every month, and it's all crazy good. So, and I think, okay, I need a piece from this master. So I just and they found this one. So I'm not an amazing fan of The Shadow or Injustice, but this cover is absolutely incredible. So the composition and the colors and the techniques, so I just love it.
I'm glad you said that, because that's definitely an artist take versus collecting, versus a collector take in some cases, because you just said you're not really a big Injustice fan. You don't love The Shadow, but I remember being with you when you got this piece, and you were like, the composition is just crazy. The slats on the hand of the gun to get the texture, the way the Shadow's scarf is moving, in the, I mean, it's just so to you to add this piece to your collection, it was more about the overall artistry and the composition, the makeup of the piece than any of the characters that were on it. You just loved the painting itself, which
it's a beautiful piece of art. Yeah,
amazing. So we're gonna hop back to the Bianchi collection now, and I think you might have mentioned something about a Roman friend.
This guy,
shorter. This is from your personal collection, One World Under Doom #3, published cover by Gabriele Dall'Otto.
Not bad.
I mean, he could use a little tips, I guess, here or there. I mean, he's got some space to really be guys, Gabriele is one of the best, and this cover is incredible.
Gabriele who?
Yeah. You don't remember the name, right?
No, I don't remember him at all. I never seen him in
your entire life.
So long story short, little fuck came to me because he wanted one of the Spawn cover that I did.
He wanted the Hellfire Spawn one,
yes.
right?
One of your best.
Yeah, the Scorch. It was Scorch Spawn. The Scorch Spawn cover was incredible.
With the flames at the bottom, which, by the way, I kind of stolen those flames from Gabriele himself, and
maybe that's why he liked it so much.
He didn't even realize
it's probably possible.
Yeah. So, and I say, you fuckhead, this is your flames. I stole them from you, but he didn't care. He liked the piece so much that he said, okay, we're gonna make a trade. So first of all, he showed me Kingpin and Daredevil piece, which, honest to God, I wasn't crazy about at all. Then he showed me this. I said, oh, okay, we can start talking about that.
Maybe.
And sure enough, little fuck got a better deal, because my cover, the Spawn cover, was at least 2 or 3 inch bigger and wider and taller than this one. And
is this A3, Simo?
No, it's bigger. It's like
it's more.
Yes, it's
so like 13 by 19.
Yes, it's 13 by 19.
And your Scorch Spawn cover was 18 by 24.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I got F by some F.
But
F.
this piece,
So
one of the things
it's
that really
4F. It's like the Fantastic Four. Only thing in the 4F is I got fucked by a fucking fucker, which is Gabriele. It's like,
oh my God,
it's 4F. It's just, but in the end, I'm happy. It's right here on my left side, and I only have 2 pieces from Gabriele, and it's just beautiful.
And Simone, real quick,
surprisingly beautiful, because he usually paints like shit, but this turns out good.
Now, Simo, talk about something. This piece, obviously, Doom is front and center, and it's amazing. But talk about like what it's like to paint a background like this, where you have two contrasting things, like the concrete of the bricks versus like the wood grain of the door. And for those to be almost the same color palette, but completely different textures. I mean, that's what I went to when I saw the back. I mean, when you're doing that, you know, from an artist standpoint, how hard is it to keep inside that same color palette, but have that different texture inside of each, you know, little portion?
That is a very appropriate and intelligent question.
You're shocked I'm asked it.
And I'm shocked that it's coming from him, but that's another story. No. That's a very right on point question. Now, what Gabriele does seriously, he takes advantages out of the he used liquid cast on the top, on the surface of the cardboard. He let it dry, and he used that kind of really random texture to obtain random textures, you know, like stones, woods, screws.
Yep.
And, you know,
like bolts, rivets, those type of different things.
Yeah. And so what he does, he exploits what he does underneath with the cast, you know, gesso. It's just liquid cast, you know. So he lays down this liquid cast, and then it takes advantages out of the different volumes. Okay. What I do, it's a little more complicated, and it takes a little longer
and beautiful.
More beautiful. I was just about to say, and definitely more beautiful.
No, I'm serious now. The problem here is it's doing much faster, and I'm pissed about that, because the faster the better. And because I do have at least 4 or 5 different techniques to get stones and rusty surfaces,
rusty metals, bricks,
bricks,
gravestone,
woods. I'm working on this huge Spider-Man canvas, and there's a lot of rusty high-tech tubes and volumes. So I use, you both know, I use a special type of brush to create a surface, and then I go over it and just paint on the top of the surface that I've created with the pasta, the dough. It's like an acrylic dough. Or I can use my saliva a lot. I spit a lot. I do. I mean, I came up with this. I came up with this idea of having a surface really dry up, 100% dry up, going over this surface, usually lighter, with a slightly darker color, more liquid. And then you can either use salt, but salt is not working as good as speeding on it. It's way more random.
You get a little DNA in every Bianchi piece.
And at the end of the day, you also have my DNA. So
speaking of, what about your DNA to make multiple man?
This
is the only. So this is Marvel Masterpiece 2018. It's a published trading card. You did 100. For those that don't know, you did 135 paintings, original artwork for Upper Deck for Marvel Masterpiece, which is the most prestigious card set that Marvel brings out. It's the most high end. You did it over a 1.5 year period, and you have none of them at all. But the only one you kept for your personal collection was Multiple Man.
Yes.
So explain to me why kept Multiple Man.
Why, Simone?
You guys answer this question for the entirety of our conversation. So it's not about the character, which, by the way, I don't know nothing.
I was gonna say, did you know Multiple Man before you got the thing to
No,
pick
I
Multiple
don't
Man?
know. I don't
For
know
sure
what he
not.
does. I don't know what he does, what he's up to, what if he's in the Avengers or X-Men or in Inhumans or in a porn.
Nothing at all.
I have no idea. Never seen him.
Or I don't know. But it was the piece that has the best depth of all of the 135 pieces that I did. It's small and it's untouchable. I'm not gonna sell this piece.
It's 9 by 12.
Yes.
You know, for those.
Yes,
But the thing
is.
that, and when you see this in person, is, you know, as I have, the way you did the white acrylics up around the foreground, but then didn't do it on every single Multiple Man in the background. It was just on certain jaw lines or just on his profile on the back far left. It gives it a level of like it, the like you said, the depth is just incredible because you see him very front and prominent, right? You know, front and center. Photorealism, and then as it goes back, you don't lose much. It's just, it's all still there. I love this piece. I think it's, and I love that. Was it a t-shirt that like you were wearing, a t-shirt that you found at the house? Like, how'd you decide?
No. I don't remember any particular story about the t-shirt.
Just picked a random t-shirt color and went with it.
Yes, and then go with it. But it's I like this piece. Again, it's not that big, but it has a meaning to me. And for the first time, it's not the first. It was not the first time. It was one of the first time that I was trying to paint with different layers. You know, like from the foreground, from the extreme foreground, so you have higher contrast, darker shadows and lighter lights, and then little by little the contrast between light and shadows, it tends to low and low up to the point where the last heads, they kind of almost disappeared in the kind of gray turquoise background.
In just that little right above his chin in the very extreme foreground, the little different type of the lighter skin tone just gives a complete different feel where you don't get lost in his jawline. It's a beautiful piece. I know when people ask me all the time, oh, did Simone keep Wolverine or Saber? No.
Multiple Man.
So now we're going to switch over to the last two pieces from the Di Meo collection, and then we've got two more from the Bianchi and Di Meo. Neither of you guys keep a lot of art from your own works throughout your career, but this is Brave and the Bold.
No, I kept some.
But Simo, from the amount, think about it, from the amount of work that you did throughout the years to what you've kept, it's a very, very.
Oh yeah.
You maybe kept 15 or 20 pieces of your career, you know.
Yeah.
Not even that many.
I was
just about to say, so Simone Di Meo has two pieces. So this is Batman Brave and the Bold number 20. And the reason why I put the digitally colored cover instead of the original art cover here is because, you know, Simo, I know this story meant a lot to you. It wasn't about the front cover. So tell us why Batman Brave and the Bold. Not only was it the end of your Brave and the Bold cover run, but why it was very important to you to keep this cover.
So this is the last Brave and Bold cover that I did. And like, it's important for me for some reason. So the main reason is like, I think just after like 20 covers, I don't have nothing about that. So we can sell all the original art. So maybe I think, okay, maybe I can just have one for me, maybe. But the most important is like inside this book, you can find my first like story with Batman that I write, draw, and color from myself. So it just like it's like 10 pages story that I write a couple of years ago, and it's something really important for me because it's first time that I write something in my life. So, and my first character is Batman. So it's just like an amazing thing. So, and I think that it's the perfect original art to give to myself, to my collections, for this reason, because
And
it's
it, you know, it
important.
signifies your journey from 1 to 20
Yeah.
of all the ones that you did. And, you know, explain how you did this, because I was lucky enough to watch you do the digital pencils for this when you were in my hometown. And explain how from Batman Brave and the Bold #1 to #20, how the compositions played, you know,
So,
you did #1 to 20.
Yeah, in the first issue, we can see Batman like run in a Gotham street, and for all the covers, we can find Batman like fight with all the enemies, all the problem in Gotham. And in the last one, I just put all the enemy in the same street that he ran in the first issue. All the enemy that Batman fight, and the fight is done, and like he stopped to run. And it's like the perfect the perfect sign after all the covers that I did to finish the run. So just like in the first one he ran, in the last one he stopped it, he did his work, and the work is done. So I just try to have some storytelling about covers.
And I love that. So thank you for sharing. And Pablo, knowing the digital pencils on his Cintiq while I was watching him, he was working on the composition of this digitally. The cover is 100% traditional. And then to the last piece, which I'm so glad you ended up keeping, because I know how much you care for, you know, Juventus and soccer, you know, football, soccer. So Batman and Robin #9. Published cover. I love this one. It's Damian Wayne in his Gotham High School soccer gear, playing versus a bunch of ninjas.
Yeah, it's crazy idea.
I was so happy that you ended up saying you wanted to keep this cover, and I think it should stay in your collection. You know, for me personally, Damian is one of your signature characters. I always said you made Damian cool again with the Jordans and, you know, all the things that you did. But maybe something that gets lost on the published cover of this was the blades of grass. I mean, how many blades of grass did you have? Why'd you drive yourself so crazy down there?
I don't know, just because I love detail sometimes too much. But yeah, this cover is
Forza.
So I just loved this cover because I'm a big fan of football, so soccer. Sorry, guys. And so I create the Gotham like T-shirt for
you created the kit. You created the whole uniform for Gotham High School.
And and I did here, like you can see the shapes of the ball. Simo, you remember this? Okay. So I just put here some quote from Capitan Tsubasa. In Italian name is Ollie Benji.
My youngest one, Lorenzo, is watching Capitan Tsubasa all the time. Yeah.
So and I put this inside here because it's something that I saw for all my life. So and I think okay, it's the perfect piece to put this thing inside. So I'm close to this piece for some reason.
And obviously, I know you have you have very heavy, and as I was just about to say, I'm going to highlight it, such an anime look. I know you have a lot of manga and anime, you know, background. The ball reminds me of like Slam Dunk. I know it's a different story, but how the ball was moving. Throughout. I just thought this piece, and then I love that you made the decision to put not Bruce but Batman in the deep background, like overwatching. Like he's not there to help; he's just there in case anything goes wrong. But he knows Robin's going to be okay.
Yeah. He knows Robin's going to be okay. Something is going to go wrong for sure.
But that
I love the ninja in the extreme foreground.
Right here, the face.
Yeah,
I know, Simo, because it's something that I stole from you. So I just. I know you love it.
Yeah, but you're doing much better than me now.
Nah.
It's so beautiful. And I love the negative space that you use for. Wow, it's beautiful. And you kept this for yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll buy it.
Okay, I'll take it. So the last two pieces from the Di Meo collection were two personal works, and I wanted to have the last two Bianchi pieces be personal works, and then we'll wrap it up here. And this one is very, very special to me. So it's a mandatory.
Guys, sorry about that, but I have to go.
No problem.
I have just 10 minutes before. And I just say that I will see like the words of Simo for the last two pieces in YouTube channel. And thank you so much, guys. It's so much fun here today to stay with all the DiTullio team and the family and friends. And thank you so much for all the guys that saw the videos, and see you next time.
All right. Ciao, Simo. Much love, brother. We'll talk soon.
Ciao, brother.
Ciao, ragazzi.
Ciao.
Ciao. Anch'io.
Ciao.
Bianchi, I mean, this piece, when I found out that you had it, our close brother Otis and I both almost died but this is Wolverine Origins number 40, which ended up becoming Simo, we lost you. You turned your camera off. But this was Romulus character design number Wolverine Origins number 40 that ended up being the Romulus character design. Now this is the complete original here. We lost Bianchi. Says device not connected. I can try to add him to stage, but so I'll narrate this piece for you guys real quick. This to me was a cover that I personally chased. It was a variant cover, I think maybe like a 1 in 25 or something, for Wolverine Origins number 40. I loved Romulus. I think Otis and I have had a love for him for a long time, and the fact that the design was able to become a variant was really cool. There he is. You're back. We lost you for a second.
Sorry. Yeah, no. Something happened with my computer.
But Simo, this piece is just, I mean, it's incredible, and I love that you kept it. Talk to me a little bit about, I love when I got to hold this piece in person, the notes, and I was happy they kept them on the design variant cover. Now, when you did this character design for Romulus, did you know that it was going to become a cover, or did you send it in and they were like, oh, we need this, we're going to do this as a variant?
I swear to God, I don't remember. I don't think it was meant to be a cover. But I do remember that Axel Alonso, who was my editor back then, he liked my character design so much that he's always trying to turn them into something else. Like when I redrew the costume for Astonishing X-Men in 2008, 2007, 2008, they put the whole thing together in an actual book just to display the work. And I guess what Axel liked a lot about this kind of work is that they do have like a Renaissance vibe. You know, it's on gray paper with some highlights, with white pencils or acrylic even. So it's the exact same technique that have been used by those genius artists from 600 years ago.
And now, Simo, real quick, I saw somebody in the channel here ask, what happened to Romulus? I know he got captured in the end of the storyline, and he was in a prison for a very long time, but I believe Romulus is out now and he's coming back. So yes. He's out, and you just did a cover with Romulus.
Yes, I did a cover, and which I, honest to God, I didn't even know where it is, because we were in Naples and Gloria put that cover in some portfolio for sure. Yes, it's back in. I don't know what storyline in what book, but they brought him back. And Panini is also making a variant cover. I think you saw both the covers.
I did.
The other one that I did, which is a frontal shot of him with cuts. So I can't remember. There's Wolverine on the right,
And X23.
An X23 on this left, they're gonna use that as a variant cover. So what can I say? But my dad always blamed me for not keeping all the other designs, character designs, and redesign of the costume of the
X-Men.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not the same, but in a future episode of the Collector's Cash, I'll be having Otis on, and we're going to be building his calf gallery, and you'll be very happy to know that he has the character design for Remus. So it's in a very good home.
Yeah. Yes, it does have the original. I'm sorry, I'm distracted because there's one guy who's making some. How can I put it? I don't want to use that word because it's some stupid comment, and it's just the second time. And the more stupid the comments are, usually, the less good the artists are. It's just the way it works. I mean, they make stupid comments, then they see, let me see this guy, and they always suck ass. It's okay. I mean, it makes me laugh that all he's left is just to do stupid jokes. Anyhow.
Yeah. And the thing is that I know you spoke about your father, and the last piece is
oh my God.
Right. So your father blamed you for not keeping some things, but I know that we mentioned in the beginning that your father was a painter, and you guys are. I wanted to put an example so the chat could see some of your father's work. So this is what I call, I don't know the technical name because it's in Italian, but I call this piece the Gypsy. This is something that I bought from your father at his studio last year or year and a half ago when I was there. So I just wanted to give an example of your father's style. He's a very fantasy driven painter, really beautiful. And he makes all of his own frames. He paints on the frames. He's just a creative person. And I think showing this gives a little bit of background to the story, because the last piece is something very important to your family. It's something very important, to you and your father. So the last piece that you have, in your personal collection is the Biofairy. This is something that your father created and painted originally, and then you remastered it. And this is your painting of the Biofairy. So, I mean,
No. Yeah, the story goes down a little differently. What I did with this piece is that I use my father's influence, especially what he used to do in the 80s, to come up with this composition and this character. But I did everything from scratch, the drawing and.
No, yeah. I'm not saying you scanned anything or you did this, but this was something that
I thought you said that it was a painting that I kind of homaged to.
No. I say remastered, just brought it up in the time.
Yeah, but I definitely, I was getting there. No, but the thing is that I use so many elements that my dad used to put into his own work. Like, if you see her arms, there's like stripes, dark and light, black and white. And my dad used to use those stripes a lot on shields or weapons. And then I finally came to realize that those stripes are actually the stripes, and it's just it's crazy. And the other thing that my dad used a lot, and I kind of stolen from him, is the Japanese. Yeah, you're right, Anthony. You're right. The Japanese kanji.
Mm-hmm.
which you can see on her left arm, in the wings.
And let me ask you this: when you started this, I mean, how long does something like this take you from, concept when you started from scratch to having it look like this for when you had it printed for the lithograph? I mean, what's the rough time something like this would take you?
You know what? It all comes down to passion again. I was feeling that my working life was taking off. You know what? You know what I'm saying? Like he was really start to work out. I started working with DC, and I won the Yellow Kid, which is a very important prize in Italy. And so it's not about how long it took, but how passionate I was about this.
And Simo, there's somebody in the chat that said, like, do you use your dad's like techniques, drawing, paints, brushes, or do you use your own? And I mean, I think you've developed your own with a basis of what's been taught from anybody that from your art school that you went to in Florence, everything through. And I think something that
it's just a mix of different things.
And
but
something
to get back to your question, he took me about one morning to do the pencil. Just one morning, and it was a kind of a thumbnail. Then I come si dice, enlarged the whole thing. Come si dice when you say enlarge, blow up?
You're right. Enlarge or blow up. They
blow
both
up the whole image, and use charcoal to redraw the whole thing on paint on the canvas. And it took me, I don't know, I want to say 3 days from start to finish. And I will never sell this piece, I guess.
There's two pieces that I know won't go anywhere, and it's this one and then Ike that's in the dining room.
Yeah. Ike, I'm not sure. This one I'm sure 100%.
Wow, well, hey.
Yeah, I will. And honest to God, you've seen this piece a million times. This this picture, he really doesn't.
No, it's so impressive in person. It's hard to even, and I feel like that's why I said earlier when I wasn't maybe saying like fine art, like, taping a banana to the wall or doing any of that, BS stuff. But when I say that I'm thankful is because, like, for me, it could be fantasy art, it could be cartooning, it could be Disney art or whatever. For you guys to be painting and creating comic book characters is amazing. But then when you see something like this, where it's like you had no boundaries, you really got to flex your own muscles, you got to do your own, creative process on it. I mean, like, how do you even get that type of detail right behind her head in the tower? Is that colored pencil or is that a very, very fine paintbrush?
The trees.
Yeah, like the tree right behind her head with the things like going up.
No, it's so. I don't know. It's there might be the trees. Sorry, the trees themselves. It's 100% brush, but some of the details on the tower, but not Anthony.
See, Anthony, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we love you. And some of those lines are definitely pencils. Another artist that back then I was studying from up close and I was obsessed with his work is an artist who is pretty unknown to everybody, who is Oscar Ciccone, or Ciccone, who is an Argentinian illustrator and painter, which has been a huge influence on my own work. It was just crazy. So anyhow,
I know. Before we end here, I think you wanted to show a piece. If you want to grab it, I'm gonna.
No, but the thing is, I have a terrible light, so I will try to do something like this.
Okay, yeah, you're moving. Okay, gotcha.
And I'm working on this piece nonstop, changing this piece a million times.
Now look at the size of this thing, chat. I mean, it's a 36. It's a 24 by 36, so it's bigger than a post. It's a poster essentially.
Yeah, and that is the piece.
And all the Sinister Six are in the tubes.
Yes. Yes.
What an incredible piece.
It's impossible to. Yeah. Okay. There you go. And but there's so many texture and stuff that we were talking about before, that you can only see from up close when you have the painting in front of you. So
this guy, I love this guy.
Yeah, it goes back. It goes back.
You're gonna have to turn it just a little bit more for us to see it if you want to. But what just a little bit more. There it is. Yep. And he's framed by 2 Conans and a 3rd Conan on the side. So an omnibus, a cover, and a big painted illustration. Just absolutely stunning, Simo.
Thank you. But I mean the gallery right now, as I told you, is empty because hey, what about this guy?
Oh boy, here we go. Oh yes, King Leonidas.
300
from Frank Miller.
And it's been signed by Frank himself.
I had it signed by Frank, I remember.
Yeah,
it was a pleasure meeting him and talking to him.
Brought the piece to Frank.
Yes, Frank. Tony, it will be a cover.
I can't hang it back.
Well, don't drop it because I'm sure that Thanos or Galactus is there.
Galactus has been destroyed by Gloria already now.
Oh, goodness. Well,
and so that's it.
Yeah, Simone, I wanted to say, number one, thank you to you. Thank you to Simone Di Meo for coming on. And, chat, thank you guys for hopping in and, being interactive, asking your questions. But I thought it was super important to give kind of that flip side of not only that do artists create, but they also collect, and their version of collecting is very different or maybe the same. But the way that they acquire pieces or the way they add them to their collection. So I want to say thank you very much, Simo. It's always a pleasure having you on the channel. It's always a pleasure talking. I miss your brother. I can't wait to see you in person soon. And
which is gonna be this summer, unfortunately.
In August. Fortunately for you, and fortunately to come to Wilson, you'll enjoy yourself.
There's somebody who's really looking forward to this summer.
I can't wait to see your oldest boy. He's I've been waiting.
Yeah, and he's talking nothing but fishing, salmons, and just hanging out with his friend Matt.
Well, I'm the guy for that, and we'll do, of course, some art and some stuff on the side. But guys, thank you very much. It was an absolute pleasure. We're gonna wrap up episode 3 of Collector's Cash. Thank you to Bianchi. Thank you to Di Meo. Thank you for sharing your collections, and we'll catch you on the next one, guys.
And thank you for letting me go downstairs to get something for dinner. Much love.
Thank you.
Love you and your beautiful family. Ciao. Thank you so much. Ciao.